Shalom. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, Yasha'Allah. Kwam Yashala, shalom. Ashar Kadash Iraq, happy new moon. Third month, y'all. I'm coming to y'all on a late night tip. All right, let me see if I can move this over a little bit. Salakia, yeah. Move that over a little bit, yeah. That's a better view for me. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Salakia. Ashar Kadash Iraq. Happy new moon, third month. All praise to the Most High. By Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Salakia, this background is bothering me. Salakia, that background was getting on my nerves, y'all. Salakia, okay, that's better. Kwame Shala, Shalom. Ashar Kadash Iraq, happy new moon. Third month, happy new moon, third month. Gonna give y'all a quick lesson on a late night tip. Salakia, y'all, I'm coming to y'all a little late, but I saw that HOI Buffalo was on live earlier, so I really didn't want to clash with them. I wanted to make sure it was nice and late. Any other HOI states that went live, so y'all can be edified by the new moon. And plus, the later it is, the less damn interruptions or gainsaying or folly comments I'll get on the comment board. But you know, it's not that late for me on the West Coast. It's maybe about minutes to 12. But hey, you know, it's all good. So we're going to go live a little bit. Well, we are live. We're going to do a little quick lesson for the new moon third month. So Shalom family. Happy new moon, brew moon, third month. Shalom Matafua, H.O.I. Philly in the building. Shalom Rob Judah. Shalom Sister Lioness Heart. Shalom. So yeah, happy new moon, happy brew moon, third month. Salakia, we didn't gather in all the states. Some states we did gather in. Other states, depending on a dynamic, you know, it's a Monday night. It's a lot going on, a lot of traveling, a lot of brothers recuperating and things of that nature, different schedules, whatever. So some states we did go live in. I mean, some states we did gather in. If you was in those states, you were able to come together to keep the feast. And some states we just did live with a lesson. You can do the feast at home. So that's that. So what's going on, Israel? Shalom. What's going on in the world? All right. We're going to get a few current events that's going on in the world. All right, and show you that regardless of what we do, what we're going through, what's happening around us, what we still suffering as a people, the curses we still suffering as a people, it doesn't matter. Guess what? Shalom Kanak. The Most High is still bringing judgment in the earth. No matter what, these prophecies are not going to fail. When you read the book Isaiah 34:16, it says, none of these shall fail, meaning the prophecies. And what's written in the book is going to fail. None of the Most High's word is going to fail. And like it says, none shall want her mate, nor the book is going to match up prophetically, all right, or spiritually, or in any way. Nor the book is going to match up to the Holy Scriptures. All right, y'all got to understand that. The Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua is letting us know, you know, prophecy is going to happen. Although Israel is suffering, we still going through curses in the nation. We still have our ups and downs. Shalom Hanya. We still have our ups and downs. We still fighting over petty things. You know, brothers still got attitudes, doctrine, you know, whatever, differences. There was some discrepancies this year about the Passover. Brothers got, you know, all kinds of angry over that, you know. And listen, Israel, if you're getting angry at the discrepancy of time of a feast day, then you don't know what to really be angry about, you know. I understand we want to try to be on one accord and we want to try to do this thing in the spirit of the Most High Yahweh. And we understand we want to be right, we want to be true, all that good stuff. But the Most High understands our efforts. So as long as we keeping them and you're not too much out of season, but you 2-3 months out of season, if you're a few weeks, even a month, some people kept the Passover in late March this year. Some kept it in late April. Okay, fine. It's either the first or the second month. Remember, according to Numbers, the 9th chapter, you can keep the Passover in the second month. All right, so let's say if we wanted to get proud and say, well, yeah, we had the right Passover in late March. So then the people that kept the Passover in late April, they just kept the Passover in the second month. Let's say the people in late April said, well, we kept the Passover the right day. That's the first month in the spring season. All right, guess what? The people in March, they was a month ahead. May the Most High have mercy on them. But at least they did it. They kept it in the spirit of the Most High Yahweh, which we don't think we was wrong when you calculate. But I'm not going to even get into that, because then pride and stuff is going to go back and forth about who got the right date. But y'all can go back to my video that I did on the new year, and I explained our position. Now, let me humbly say that again, because you got brothers out here that you know, brothers are literally getting upset and going all over Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and getting mad at each other over the difference in the feast date, whether you kept the Passover in April or March. I had a brother come at me on my comment board yesterday, I think. Brother, you're wrong. You're wrong, brother. It's not the third month. Okay, brother. Well, you going to crucify me like Yahweh? Even though according to certain research, see, I don't try to do the pride and tick for tack thing, because brothers can go into their information and prove their position, but a lot of times I do that in my basic lessons, but I'm not going to go back and forth and tick for tack with brothers with my information and have a damn pissing contest. All right? So, you know, for lack of a better word, excuse my expression, y'all, but I'm not going to have a competition with brothers about the feast days. This is not a competition. We're trying to rehearse the righteous acts, and we're trying to do this in the spirit of the Most High Mashiach Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, them brothers want to get personal, and you One West camps, and you camps this, and you camps that. This is why I don't join camps. And the brother want to come in my inbox and, brother, you just can't accept new information. May is the summertime. Okay, brother, if May starts summertime for you, then knock yourself out. All right? If May is the first month for you, knock yourself out. If May is the second month, whatever the case may be. So I just say that to say, any of y'all that might have got confused this year about this whole Passover thing, I explained it in my lesson on the new year. Go back to that lesson. I believe it's on HOI Sin City. Rob Judah. If maybe Rob Judah could put that lesson in the comments, or he can put the channel that it's on. I explain our position and how King Prophet, I love a One West movie by Spike Lee. Okay, brother. But anyway, yeah, that would be interesting, a One West movie by Spike Lee. But anyway, y'all can go back to the lesson, and I explained and broke down why we calculated the month of March, late March this year for the Passover, going into the first week of April, which is the spring season. Now, our new year fell a little bit early, but when you have the Adar, too, when you have the second Adar, and with these leap years and different changes of times, your Passover is going to rotate every couple of years to where you're going to have to do the second Adar, which is you have to skip a month, and then also some years, every maybe 3 to 4 years, your Passover, your New Year might fall a little early. Maybe just a couple of days. Maybe just a couple. Yeah, Rob Judah put the video that I did in the comment section. It may fall a few days before the vernal or spring equinox, but by the time your Passover is in, by the time your Passover comes in and it ends, you're well into the spring season. So it's around a time, it may just fall, that New Year may fall a little bit earlier, a couple of days earlier, maybe even a week early before that vernal equinox. But it's still within that season. It's only maybe a week to 10 days at the most. And it's going to be like that because if you try to go by a 12-month rotation every year, your Passover will end up in February, then it'll end up in January, then it'll end up in December, then it'll end up in November, if you try to go by a 12-month rotation. So it's going to skip and jump. You're going to have to do the Adar too. And some years it's going to fall a little bit early. Your Passover is going to fall like late March. But it's still, in this late March, it's still spring. Your New Year might fall a little bit early. Maybe a couple of days early before the New Year. But your Passover is going to be in the New Year. It's going to be in the spring vernal equinox. All right. So I'm just saying that to say I got some inquiries. I talked to a few brothers. I have no issue with nobody. I spoke to a couple of brothers about it. A couple of brothers. I was like, well, brothers, let's not get too crazy into going at each other about a disagreement on when the feast day falls. I had some people question it. People hit me up, whatever. But I'm just saying, through the spirit of the Most High, Mashiach Yahweh, we are not purposely trying to do nothing off. We just going to keep the Passover the wrong time and throw everybody off. No. But the way we've calculated over the years, that's how it's going to fall from year to year. That's all it is. All right, that's all it is. Remember, Psalms 136. Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, for his mercy endureth forever. If we wrong every goddamn year. Like next year's Passover is going to be Thursday, April 14th, 2022. Because next year you're going to have to skip or have that second Adar. Because if you didn't, then it'll be like, your Passover would kind of fall way out of season. All right, you would have the Passover actually before the vernal equinox. And that would be off. So next year's Passover happens to fall. I believe the new year next year is March 30th or March 31st. And then your Passover is April 14th, 2022. So it fluctuates. All right, but you're still in that vernal equinox. You're still in that spring season. So let's not put Instagram comments up. When has it been cold during the Passover? You cannot go by weather. Guess what? It's May the damn 10th. And do you know it's 50 degrees in certain states? Do you know it's 50 degrees in California? On May the 10th, and California is known to be a warmer state throughout the years. It's the desert, so it can get cool at night, whatever the case may be. Do you know the other day, the high in New York City yesterday, Sunday, so-called quote-unquote pagan Mother's Day, May 9th, you know what the high was in New York City? 52 degrees. Well, let me say this. That was the high when I looked at the weather. I looked at the weather maybe about 5 o'clock Cali time. It was about 8 o'clock New York time. It was 52 degrees. The brother right here is saying 50 degrees in Washington. So if you kept normally, like Rob Judah said, normally Cali have summer weather all year round. So you can't really go by the weather. Do you know on April 24th when certain brothers had, Matafio's white. Listen, We went to Philly last year. We went to Philly last year during the Mother's Day. I think it was the so-called Mother's Day weekend. I guess Mother's Day is what? Every second Sunday of the month, I believe, of May. I believe it is. I think. But anyway, we came to Philly last year on the second week of May, and it was 35 degrees. I remember I had my damn North Face coat on. Or one of my coats. I forget, but I had one of my winter coats on in Philadelphia last year. Shalom. Last year, on so-called the second weekend of May, we went out to teach the gospel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it was 35 degrees. We had winter coats on in the second damn week of May. I remember back in the 80s, growing up as a child, going to high school, we could wear shorts in May. It's something jacked up with the weather, so you cannot go by the weather. Do you know on April 24th, where some brothers claim they had the right Passover, it was snow in certain places? So you had, if you was in a certain particular city, I think Cleveland, Detroit, certain places had snow. They had snow that day or the day before or whatever. But around that time frame. So you had snow on your Passover if you kept it in Detroit, Cleveland, or one of these other cities on April 24th. You had 35 degrees in Chicago on April 24th. I was looking at the weather. So I'm saying, brother, you really can't go by weather, because some of y'all said, well, y'all had y'all Passover in March and it was snow in certain places. Guess what? It was snow in certain places on April 24th also. Here it is. It's May the 10th, and most of the country is still not as seasonably warm as it would be. So you cannot go by the weather. I don't know if it's Esau's harp or the Most High just jacking things up. I got a theory. I say the Most High, he keeps the weather cool certain years. He make that weather be cool all the way up into damn June. Because the warmer it get, the demons come out. So I'm just saying that to say, Israel, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. We got bigger fish to fry about these discrepancies. We know the feast days are important. We know we want to try to get them right. We know we want to lock them down. But as long as we're within that season, no man can condemn you. All right? If you want to say brothers is wrong, knock yourself out. If you want to say you got the right way, knock yourself out. It's all good. Here at HOI, we're not going to hold a grudge or go back and forth or yell, scream, curse brothers out. We're not going to do all that. We're not going to make 1,000 damn Instagram posts and Facebook posts. No. All we're saying is, listen, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Brothers, sisters, we have these calculating systems we've been doing for years, and it's been keeping the Passover in its appointed season throughout this time. All right? Let's get Judges 5 and 11. All right, yeah, I know the script, but we're going to read it anyway. Let's go to Judges chapter 5, verse 11. All right? Just because of all this Passover confusion this year. All right? Judges 5 and 11. And it reads, oh, Salaki, I'm in chapter 6. They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawing water. The noise of archers represents the nuclear destruction. All right, and the place of drawing water represents captivity and slavery. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of our ability. Child, you got brothers and sisters in Israel saying we need to be doing the feast days on Israel time. We need to be following the crescent moon. We need to be following the full moon. We need to be following the first slither. So which one is it? And if you try to sit down and examine everybody's information, it'll confuse you. And I've done it to a certain degree. I've seen brothers do lessons, videos. It's just a whole bunch of research they bringing out. And okay, that's the conclusion you come to. But I don't agree with it. All right, the way we pinpoint the feast days and look at it, that's how we agree with it. That's how we're going to keep it. All right, it says, Then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gates. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts. All right. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. When Yahweh come back, we're not going to see through that glass anymore. Like it tell you in Corinthians, all things are going to be made clear. Crystal clear. So Israel, let's not butcher each other over disagreements about the feast days. Let's not bite and devour. Let's get that, matter of fact. Let's get James, the 3rd chapter. All right, James chapter 3. All right. Let me see what I want. No, I'll get that later. Somebody posted scripture, but if ye bite and devour one another. I thought it was in James, but that's not the one I'm looking for. But if ye bite and devour one another, where's that scripture at? Let's not bite and devour each other, Israel, over, disagreements. You should just humbly say, listen, brother, we respectfully disagree. I'm glad you brothers made a sincere effort to keep it. I think y'all brothers are wrong, and y'all should, reevaluate the information and reconsider the information. But hey, as long as brothers kept it. Thawadah Kazawan. Galatians 5:15. That's what I wanted. I'm using my Thawadah Mathafiwa. My phone, so I don't have I should have bought the laptop out, Salakia. I don't have my computer handy. I'm using my phone while I would normally look it up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Thawadah Akim. No, King Prophet, that's not what I was looking for. No, that's not what I'm looking for, brother. You're going into something else. Galatians 5:15, it says, but if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. We don't want to consume each other, Israel. Brothers got a disagreement about a feast day. It's like we biting and devouring each other and consuming each other. We don't want to disagree to the point where we destroy each other, Israel. Or we taking it personal, or, some of y'all, your zeal is good, but a lot of times, Israel, you be trying to act like you just out-zeal other brothers. These are the Lord's feast days, brother. We understand that, brothers. Tell me, show me where we kept the Passover and it was cold. Brothers, calm down. Don't bite and devour each other, that ye be not consumed of one another. And I love all my brothers and sisters. I'm not, I get passionate sometimes too. Don't get me wrong, but come on, Israel. Let's get it together. Let's stay in the spirit. All right, let's stay in the spirit. That's all I'm saying. And we can respectfully disagree. We can agree to disagree. We can do it respectfully. And we can keep it pushing. And maybe if you present your cause the right way, maybe you can try to win a brother over. You understand? But you're not going to, if you're biting and devouring and you come in with pride and doctrine pride and whatever the case may be, you're not going to win your brother over. All right? So, yeah, I know the old cliche is not what you do. Sometimes it's how you do it. All right, so don't bite and devour each other. One of my favorite scriptures in Galatians. I always confuse that with the one in James about the bitter envy and strife. I always confuse that with James 3:14. Galatians 5:15 and James 3:14. I confuse them sometimes. Because the biting and devouring comes from a lot of times the bitter envy and strife. And brothers might say, well, I ain't got no envy. What the hell I got to be jealous of any man in Israel for? I know Most High dealing with me too. Yes, but then you have strife. All right, you have strife to the point where you're biting and devouring each other over disagreements about doctrine or discrepancies about time frame. You know, yeah. Brother Canuck said, yeah, that's a new one. Want to out-zeal each other, man. And hell, if anything, we should be encouraging each other with zeal. Yeah, brother. Encourage me to want to get the feast days as right as I can in this captivity. I'm going to say it like that. All right, so that's all we're saying, Israel. Much love to all the body. But I'm still getting, as of today, I'm still getting messages about the Passover. Passover done and gone. For the people that kept it, well, definitely in March, and the people that kept it in April, Passover done and gone. I'm still getting messages today. We on a new moon, 3rd month. All right, third. Well, don't crucify me, Israel. All right, because I said it's the 3rd month, according to HOI's calculation and many other brothers in camps. But I digress. All right, and I know before you get simple, Israel, that don't mean you right, brother, because wide is the gate to destruction. Don't matter about how many people followed it. Israel. I love y'all, Israel, but y'all could be something else, man. And I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not making this video because I got any personal issue or anything with any Israelite camp or group. I said, hell, I got the best of both worlds. I can check out 2 months of Passovers. I watched some of the brothers' services that kept their services in April. Got edified on 1 or 2 things. So, yeah, we're going to get that. All right, we're going to get that. So, I just say all that to say, Israel, I'm still getting messages today about this Passover confusion. I'm like, damn, I thought we done moved on. Brothers, congregations kept it in March. Congregations kept it in April. It's done now. All right, at least you kept it. But it is what it is. I don't want to ramble on. Let's get down to some scriptures and some information. So what's going on in the world, Israel? What's going on in the world, Israel? Before we get into this new moon 3rd month, what's going on in the world, Israel? There's a lot going on, a lot of prophecy, judgment, but just a few things that I'm noticing now. There was a shooting in Colorado. How many of y'all saw that? All right. How many of y'all saw that? There was a, all right, yeah, y'all try to stay on topic. Try to stay on topic, all right? Try to stay on topic. Please try to stay on topic. This is kind of why I'll be going live late sometimes, so, it might be less people, but hell, y'all up with me. Let's troop it out. Let's do it like some G's. All right, but try to stay on topic, Israel. All right, so there was a shooting in Colorado. It was a birthday party in Colorado Springs where 7 people were killed. This person ran up. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Esau or Issachar. They really didn't show the people, and the little captions they did show of the people, unless some of y'all saw another video of it. From what I saw, it looked like it could have been Esau, Issachar, some kind of heathens. It didn't look like it was Judah. It didn't look like it was so-called black people, Jakes. It looked like it could have been Esau or maybe even Issachar. But there was a shooting in Colorado Springs. It was a birthday party, 12 midnight Saturday night going into Sunday morning, which is so-called Mother's Day. It was a Mother's Day shooting at that because the day starts at sundown. Yeah, I pray it was Edom also, brother. But whoever it was judgment of the Most High. All right, whoever it was judgment of the Most High. So, brothers and sisters, Israel, these shootings are starting to go back off the hook. I don't know, for some reason last year they slowed down. Well, it was the pandemic. A lot of people were in the house. And for those that are weak and don't study and paranoid, a lot of people was in the house because they were really scared of the coronavirus. So it wasn't as much people out. So now this year, you know, people are a little bit more free. They coming out a little bit more. And there was shootings last year too. Don't get me wrong. There was shootings last year too. It was 2020. The pandemic really didn't stop it, but it slowed it down a lot. But these shootings are going back off the hook. All right, these shootings are going back off the hook. So there was 7 shot dead in Colorado Springs at this birthday party. And then there was a shooting in Times Square in broad daylight. There was a shooting in Times Square on the Sabbath, on the Shabbat, this past Sabbath at 5 p.m. in the afternoon in Times Square. Now, like I was bringing out earlier, there probably would have been more people shot, or it probably would have been more chaotic if Times Square was more crowded, but Times Square wasn't that crowded. You can tell from the video. Because it was still kind of chilly out there. You know, New York, like I was saying, New York was kind of chilly and rainy over the weekend and last week. So it wasn't as much people out. If it would have been 70 degrees and higher with sun, all right, it would have been much worse. Now, there was this shooting in Times Square in broad daylight. They said it was a group of guys arguing with each other. They start shooting, and a 4-year-old Edomite girl got shot. A 4-year-old little Edomite girl got shot. The cop ran and snatched the girl up. You know, they got the girl. So they said it was 3 gunshot victims. Nobody died. But it was a 4-year-old little Edomite girl that got shot. So welcome to our world, Esau. Because it's so much crime in our neighborhoods and shootings and stuff. Our children are always getting shot. But now your children are getting shot in Times Square during their little Mother's Day weekend tourism of Times Square, New York City. Your babies are getting shot. Welcome to our world. You're always talking about how Negroes are so violent when guns. We're so violent. We're shooting and gun. But you're violent too. Most mass shootings are you so-called white people. Mass shootings in our neighborhood is us killing each other. Is a Negro, you know, killing another. The numbers mount up with us killing each other. A lot of times, most of the time, Black, Hispanic, Native American men, we're not in the hood shooting 10, 15, 9, 8, 12 people at one time. The numbers we have, it be individual shootings or 3 people that get shot here. Nigga don't know how to aim, whatever. But that violent spirit of shooting comes from you so-called white people. Let's start off with Proverbs 16:29. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 29. That spirit comes from you, Esau. And what was your blessing? What is the so-called white man's blessing? The sword. His blessing is the sword. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 29. It says, a violent man enticeth his neighbor. Just even an aspect of shooting guns and killing and all that. We know, right, most mass killers and shooters are Edomites. We know Jake was the Cowboys, the black man was the Cowboys, whatever the case may be. We've seen the movie Posse, things of that nature. But that violent gun spirit, that comes from Esau. Because what? Genesis 27:40, we don't have to get it, but Esau was given the blessing of the sword. What is the modern day sword? The gun. Whether it be the Gatling gun during the time of Gad, all right, the musket gun, whatever the case may be. Esau got the blessing of that iron weapon. All right, he got that blessing of that gun. Let's read it again. Proverbs 16:29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor. And where do you Black, Latino, and Native American get that spirit from? You get it from the white man. Like the drive-by shootings. That comes from the old mafia gangs and stuff in the early 1900s. You get that drive-by spirit from. Remember Tupac in the movie Juice? Made it my top of the world. Watching old Humphrey Bogart or whatever gangster movies. That's where you get that spirit from. That drive-by, remember back in the Esau had the Tommy gun? But later on, what? They gave us the Uzi, they gave us the Tech 9, they gave us the Mac 10. But Esau had the damn the Tommy gun back in the time, and we got the AK-47 and the AR-15 now, the chopper, and you're only using it on your own people. That violent spirit comes from Esau, and he enticed his neighbor, because you Negroes, you seen that bloody, violent spirit of the white man, and you got enticed to be like that with each other. All right, Proverbs 16:29 again. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. So now he led you into what? Black on black crime. You murdering and killing each other. From slavery, from the Willie Lynch letter, we got to go back to that too, how to make a slave. From slavery all the way up until now, divide and conquer. So that violent man, that violent nature, that I'm going to shoot this nigga, kill this nigga. A lot of that came from slavery too, when, Shalom, Brother Tony, when Esau would have you, the Mandingo fights, when he would have you beating and fighting each other in front of the other slaves for his entertainment, and you would be like, it's showing you in the movie Django, where he gave him the, Leonardo DiCaprio, which he was not acting. He gave him the hammer. He said, finish him, boy. And what happened? He took and beat his fellow brother in the head with that hammer. All right, so that violent nature comes from Esau. They shooting and killing and murdering and bloodshed. That's Esau's nature. The scriptures tell you what? He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. He's a violent man. All right, hell, it tell you in Psalms, violence compasseth him as a chain. All right, let's go to Job real quick. Job 19, we always like to bring this one out. Job 19:29. What did the Lord tell us in these last days? That gun would be a major weapon of judgment in these last days. And the Lord said it in the book of Job. Job 19:29. It says, be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. See that? The Lord said, what? You're going to know there is a judgment, because the wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword. All right? And that's what the Most High said, that you may know that there is a judgment. All right? Be ye afraid of that sword. All right? So when you look at it, the Most High is bringing judgment on this society. All right? He's bringing judgment on this society. Why? Because this society is evil as hell, and we're living in the last days. And the Most High said, woe unto you. I'm going to begin to visit the world. I tell you that in the book of Ezra. And that's what the Most High is doing. So what else is going on in the world? That was just, the shootings, man. There's many shootings all over the place, but that was just some of the latest ones over the weekend. The brother put up something about Philly. People always getting shot up and killed in Philly, Chicago, all these major cities. But that was two of the major ones I saw in the news over this weekend. All right. So happy shooting Mother's Day weekend. All right. What else happened? Over in Israel, they had Hamas. One of the terror organizations, Hamas, they shot over 150 rockets at Israeli defenses. But they claim, that's what I'm going into. That's the spirit, King Prophet. All right, Brother King Prophet. That's the spirit. There was airstrikes in Israel. Over 150. Hamas launched over 150 rockets at Israeli forces. Now, they claim 4 Israeli soldiers got injured. Then they claim the Israeli defense system, they call it the Iron Dome. The Israeli defense system, they claim that it blocked out all their rockets and only 4 soldiers got hurt. But then they said they struck back and they killed 22 Palestinians. All right? They killed 22 Palestinians over in the airstrikes in Israel. So that tension between them two nations is always there. What did the Most High say in Matthew 24:7? For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. And that spirit of terrorism is always amongst them Arabs. Didn't it say in Genesis that Ishmael would be a wild man? Genesis 16:12. All right, we don't have to get it, but it tells you, read Genesis 16, it tells you the nature of Ishmael, which is the so-called Arabs today, Ishmael. All right, let's go to Job 27. Job 27, and I'm going to start at 13. Because you're not going to have no land, you're not going to have no peace in the land of Israel. Whether Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Aqsa's Martyr Brigade, whatever terrorist organizations still exist over there, all right? Because a lot of them are CIA operatives anyway. They set up to be opposition by the CIA. But either way, Hamas is still around. I remember prophesying and talking about Hamas from the 1990s and early 2000s. But anyway, you're not going to have no peace in the land of Israel. The Most High says so. Let's go to Job 27 and 13. It says, Job 27:13. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. And I brought out on my video from last Sabbath how you had a stampede in Israel, and 45 of you so-called white Jews got stomped to death. That's the portion of a wicked man. All right, verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, the modern day sword. Like I said, I think that shooting in Colorado Springs, I think that might have been Esau. Good. All right, if your children be multiplied, it is for the modern day sword, the gun. All right, and his offspring, Salakia, shall not be satisfied with bread. So your offspring not going to be satisfied with bread. There's going to come a time when you're going to be judged Israel. You're going to be judged Esau. All right. And your bread, your money, your riches is not going to satisfy you. All right. Look at Bill and Melinda Gates. Bill and Melinda Gates getting divorced. All right. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that in a minute though. But I'm going to jump down. Job 27 and 20. I'm going to jump down. It says, terrors take hold on him as waters. All right, that's how it is. The Most High's putting terror on you, Esau, like as of waters. Shalom, Mark. All right, it says, a tempest stealeth him away in the night. Look at the storms in the south. Most High's kicking the south behind with them storms. Most High ain't playing. The Most High said, terrors take hold on him as waters, a tempest stealeth him away in the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and he departeth as a storm, hurleth him out of his place. Just look at the south. Most High jacking them places up down there. All right. It says, for Yahweh shall cast upon him and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place. See that? That's what's going to happen to you, Esau, and all you nations. You're going to be judged by the Most High. And that's happening to you already. The storms, terror, the iron weapon, they all coming upon you, Esau, as judgment from the Most High. All right, so now what's going on in India? All right, India, they still dropping dead like flies from the so-called coronavirus. They burning the bodies over there still. They said India is actually the largest. That was Job 27. That was Job 27, verses 13 to 23. You can read all the verses. I just skipped around a little bit to get to the point. All right, because I'm just making a quick few points about current events. But India is the highest manufacturer of, you see how the Most High mocked them? They are the highest manufacturers of the vaccines. And they said India is the highest manufacturers of the vaccines, but they don't have enough. They're out of vaccines. Yeah, them Alabama storms. Yeah, all down in the south, man. All throughout them states. It's so much destruction down there is too much to mention. But anyway, back to the fact of the matter. India is the highest. They produce the highest numbers of the vaccine. But guess what? They said they're out of the vaccine. The Most High mocked them. And I believe what's going on in India has to do with population control. I believe the Illuminati has a part to do with that because they just burning the bodies. It's to just get rid of these people. India is too overpopulated anyway, and they becoming the new tech giants of the world, and they putting America to shame. So they said, listen, man, wipe out some of their population so they don't be as strong. All right, with this coronavirus, because they so overpopulated over there. All right, but they're the highest producers of vaccines, but they don't have no vaccines. They're dying and they're being burnt. And they claim it's a different, the coronavirus variant in India is different and is more deadly. That's what they claim. All right. Right. Yeah. There are a lot of people are taking a vaccine and dying. All right. So when you check it out, the Most High is plaguing them. Whatever the hell this coronavirus is. All right, let's get that. All right, that's let's get the classic, Matthew 24. Whatever this coronavirus is, whether it's the vaccine, whether it's an actual virus killing people, but it's only killing certain people, whatever the case may be, the Most High is using it as a plague to bring judgment on this earth. All right, Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation. All right, Israel, Palestine. All right, the Palestinians against the Israelis. All right, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And shout out to H.O.I. Philly, Kasaja, with H.O.I. Philly News. He's always updating us on all the earthquakes that's happening in the different parts of the earth. All right, shout out to H.O.I. Philly, Kasaja, Captain Kasaja, H.O.I. Philly. All right, but the Lord said there will be pestilences. So whatever the hell this coronavirus is, we can bring out a ton of theories. Y'all know, remember when the virus first happened, they was trying to say it was the 5G towers, and that theory kind of faded out. Then they said they're lying when they get you into the hospital. They put you on the ventilators and you stop breathing, and that's how you die. Or you have other underlying conditions and they neglect you, and that's how you die, and they call it corona. Whatever the case may be, the Most High is jacking this earth up with this coronavirus. It's a pestilence. Whether, like I said before, the damn vaccine could be the pestilence. That's probably the real virus that they injecting you with. All right, because the Most High is bringing judgment on this earth. So the Most High is jacking India up also. And the East Indians, they are enemies anyway. Y'all see they come over here over the years with their damn 7-Elevens and, you know, everything, gas stations, liquor stores. They own every damn thing in your neighborhood. They proud. They talk to you like you nothing. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High is judging these damn East Indians. The hell with them, man. You know, I hope a million of their asses die. 10 million of them die. They claim it's over 400,000 of them getting infected per day. So good. Judgment from the Most High. All right? Judgment from the Most High. All praises to the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua forever and ever. Amen. Keep judging the enemies of Israel. All right? Because all the evil they've done to us, the Most High is bringing it back upon them. All right? Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. All right, the Most High is bringing all a judgment back upon them, you know, as he said in the scriptures. All right, let's go to Obadiah. Right, the Lord is no respecter of persons when he brings his judgment. You know, no respecter of persons when he brings his judgment. And you're going to see that. You're going to find that out because that's what our power is doing. He's bringing judgment upon all these evil wicked nations that come against Israel. These proud Elamites, these proud Edomites. All right, all these nations, these proud Asians. You talking about black on Asian hate, and most of the killings and stuff that's being done to Asians, They had some damn tear. He was a Spaniard out here in Cali, just shot up and killed some Asians. All right, there's that iron weapon again. That gun. All right, that's the Most High having that gun go crazy all over the earth. This is Obadiah 15. All right, yeah, Obadiah 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. All you proud Elamites, East Indians, all right, you Persians, all you bastards is being judged. You're being burnt to death in India. Corona or whatever the hell the Most High got over there is killing you by the hundreds of thousands. That's the Most High's judgment for your 7-Elevens, your gas stations, your hotels, your proud attitude against Negroes and the 12 tribes of Israel. The Most High is getting you, boy. Like he getting all the heathens. All right, so that's going to segue into Bill and Melinda Gates. All right. So everybody thought they was going to get together and, you know, vaccinate the whole damn world and kill everybody, and the Most High making them get a divorce. All right. Let's go to Psalms. We're going to go to Psalms 33 and 10. All right. The Most High confounded them. Now, that don't mean they still won't work behind the scenes with the Illuminati to control the Earth's population. But remember, when this coronavirus first happened, everybody was Bill and Melinda Gates and the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control. They're all working together. But guess what? The Most High confounded them, and now Bill and Melinda Gates is getting a divorce. All right, so much for working together to vaccinate the whole world. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, they can still work behind the scenes. They could still work behind the scenes and, you know, work with the Illuminati, the World Health Organization, all the money they got, da-da-da-da. They can still do that as a separate couple. They can still do that as a separate couple. They may, you know, they may just, whatever the case may be, they don't want to be with each other no more. Did Bill come home and she had a black man hiding in the closet? Did she come home and he had a little black boy hiding in the closet? Is that why they divorcing? Because he wanted a little black boy and she wanted a big black man? I don't know, y'all. Inquiring minds want to know. But Psalms 33 and 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He make the devices of the people of none effect. So whatever the hell they was getting together to do, as far as the vaccination and everything, that ain't happening because they're not together no more. All right, it says on verse 11, the counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. So guess what? Is the Most High program. Maybe the Most High had them divorced and interrupted their vaccine program or whatever the case may be. But a lot of people are still getting vaccinated. Don't get me wrong. They didn't really need Bill and Melinda Gates. I think they financed the vaccine and they put up so much money for it to help or whatever, to help, you know, make sure that people get them damn inoculations. But whatever the case may be, a lot of people still took the vaccination. They took, they claim 150, I don't know if these numbers are right or whatever, but they claim 150 million, over 150 million Americans have already been vaccinated. They're trying to do 200 million in the next couple of months or whatever. Whatever the case may be. Whatever these numbers Esau play with. Which may be true, because a lot of the people are gullible. A lot of people are gullible as hell, so you never know. But the Most High said whatever Bill and Melinda was planning, unless they're going to still do it behind the scenes and they're going to work together with the Illuminati, but just not married. But the Most High confounded them and got them getting a damn divorce. All right? They call it it's a new thing. They call it a gray divorce. It's, gray divorce is a term where couples And they said it has increased since the 90s. So from 1990 to 2010, I think they said gray divorce has risen by 20%. That means people over 50, more people over the age of 50 and that have been married for years are getting more divorces. And that's prophecy too. Let me get that real quick. That's Matthew 24 also. That's prophecy also. Check this out. Matthew 24 and let me see what I want. 12. Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. People's love is waxing cold. All right. Thawadah. Shalom. Shalom, sis. Good to see you on here. It said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. They call it gray divorce. People over 50. What the hell you doing over 50 years old? You've been married 12, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. Now you decide you want to get a divorce? You know why? Because the family structure and society is breaking apart. It's depleting. The Illuminati is breaking the family structure. That's part of their New World Order, to break the family structure. Now you damn 70 years old, been married for 42 years, and now you decide, I want to be divorced. I want to, what the women, you want to go be a cougar. All right, the men, you want to go be an old sugar daddy. What the hell is going on? But that's part of prophecy, iniquity, because sin shall abound. Another thing, a lot of these people, all of a sudden, they're gay. You 70 years old, been married to a woman for 45 years, now you decide you love men. That's going on too. That's going on too. We went, one year we was in New York at the gay parade and we were teaching. We would go out to, sometimes we would go out to the gay pride parades and we would rebuke them. A couple of years ago, the Pull-Up Boys went to one in New York. So, you know, a couple of years we went out there and we rebuked the hell out of all them sodomites. We go right in the midst of the damn parade and rebuke them. And this was years ago, man. This had to be maybe 15 years ago. And we seen a lot of older black women out there being lesbians. And we like, well, sis, you old. I know you got children. Now you decide 50, 60, 70 years old, you like women? You a lesbian now? But that's what? Iniquity shall abound. Sin is becoming so prevalent, even people in where the hell you going? You got a new lease on life I mean, don't get me wrong. No matter how old you get, you can start life over. But that is becoming so prevalent, they got a term for it. It's called gray divorce. People that are 50 years and over in marriages for years are getting divorced. See that? That's how this society is. What are you going to be? You going to be 65 on the dating scene? Oh, I just been dating the last couple of months, you know? And that dating goes into whoredom. Because what? You seeing 5 and 6 different men and you going to pick the one you want to be with? Are you intimate with all these men? Whatever the case may be. Like Jennifer Lopez. Now Jennifer Lopez supposed to be back with Ben Affleck, which is all because Jennifer Lopez is a so-called Puerto Rican from the tribe of Ephraim. What the hell you doing with Ben Affleck? He's an Edomite. All right, they said her and Alex Rodriguez broke up, which was a Simeonite from her nation. Stay with him. All right, but Jennifer Lopez, we done seen the men she been with. Diddy, Mark Anthony, this one, that one, whoever the hell else in the middle. Now you run into Esau, the damn devil. Like, look at Serena Williams. Serena Williams bleached the hell out of her face, or she put so many layers of damn makeup on, she looked like a damn white tiger, a white lion. A white-faced, a white pale-faced lioness. And Serena Williams is a dark-skinned sister, but she bleached her damn skin and put on so many layers of makeup. she looked like a white woman on her Instagram, and then she got so much backlash, you know, that she took the Instagram post down. And she's dating that guy from Reddit, the guy from that Reddit website. I believe she's dating that dude, and he's racist as hell. Yeah, Serena. They try to say it was makeup. I don't know, because I saw Serena. I saw other recent videos and pictures of Serena, and she doesn't look that light. I don't know if she just put on some goddamn Ambi. Like Benjamin said, them a bleach. Them a bleach out them skin. Them a bleach out them skin to look like browning. But hell, they don't even look like browning. They look like damn paling. Pale skin. Remember the other guy did that. Sammy Sosa did that. We know Michael Jackson did that. We know Little Kim did it. What's wrong with your dark skin? What's wrong with your melanin? That's what happened. Esau get a hold of you and you become ashamed. So, and Serena's with a white boy. All right, she's with an Edomite. So the whole relationship set up in this society is off, man. You know, but so much for Bill and Melinda Gates. They getting a divorce. I think 27 years of marriage, 3 children. They got billions of dollars. You know, their wealth is you can't even count their money. Now you decide. But I don't give a damn. That's Esau. Let your family break up. She's probably a damn lesbian anyway. He's probably a homosexual and like little boys. And they've been fronting all these years anyway. All right, but so much for them. You know, there was a lot of talk about them working together with this whole vaccine situation, but Mosai broke them apart. What else is going on? There's a few other things. They had that oil pipeline company. They got hacked. There was an oil pipeline company in the east, on the eastern coast of the United States. They said this company controls about 45% of the oil, you know, production on the east coast of the United States. So some Russian hackers, they call themselves the Dark Side Group. All right, and this is a new thing now that Russian and foreign hackers, they call it ransomware. You know, like what you call different software and different stuff for computers, but they call it ransomware now. Where these gangs of hackers, they hack into American companies' websites and then they demand a ransom to not erase all their information. But that's why you got to have, they were bringing out in the news, it's good to have backup, have your information backed up on 2 or 3 other sources that they can't get through your firewalls and hack your information. So this is going to cause more tension between the United States and Russia, because the FBI is investigating and they saying these Russian hacker gangs, they are tied to the KGB and Russian intelligence. But the Kremlin is denying. They say no, these are just you know, these are just rogue criminals. So, you know, that's interesting in how, you know, Biden is talking more tough talk against Russia. All right. And now they call them ransomware. They call it ransomware, where they hack into your software, get all your data and say, you got to give us $10 million if you want your data back. Otherwise, we're going to delete all your data. All right, which the FBI is telling these companies now to have 3 or 4 backup systems where if you get hacked, you can tell the Russian hackers where the hell they could go. I got all my information backed up. So this is going to cause more tension between Russia and America. Let's go to Amos chapter 5. That's that bear. All right, that's that bear that's going to rise up, that Russian bear. All right, this is Amos chapter 5. And verse 18, it reads, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? All right. Just like Iran, we was reading earlier, Matthew 24:7, nation shall rise against nation. Iran and United States, they just had they were just firing on each other, and some straight over there. I don't think it's not the Strait of Hormuz. It's one of them straits over there where they were firing. I gotta see the news report again. They were firing on each other. United States Navy and Iranian Navy, and that's been happening on a regular basis. More tension between Iran and the United States. All right. Once again, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So you want to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you want to be in the spirit on the day of the Lord. All right? Because it may be darkness for you and not light. It might be a day of your destruction if you're not in the commandments of Yahushua. That's why I tell Israel, stop worrying about fighting with each other so much, and let's get it together and keep these laws, man. If brothers got difference in doctrine, we're going to have different schools, camps, whatever. We can't come together because we sticking to our guns. Certain brothers can't get along. Brothers get a little crazy with each other. Nobody in the truth should be getting violent with one another. Brothers should cut that out unless you got to really defend yourself. If you don't rock with a brother, look, don't say nothing to him. We just don't speak. We don't mess with each other. All right? We ain't got to try to hurt or kill each other unless, nigga, you wanna get stupid. But that spirit shouldn't be amongst us. If we ain't gonna rock, we not gonna rock. Let Yahushua bring it together when he come, or whatever the hell kind of affliction the Most High gonna bring down on these last days, so Negroes can humble themselves and we can learn to get along. If it ain't that, leave each other alone and just do the work and be cordial. And if you can at least be cordial, just leave each other alone. Just, you see me, don't say nothing. Sometimes it got to be that way with certain Hebrews. I don't say nothing to you. You don't say nothing to me. We ain't got no problem. Or Hebrews that you got a rapport with, we cordial when we see each other. Hey, shalom, what's good? You doing the work, whatever. May have different doctrines, different camps, whatever. Everybody trying to, for the most part, bring the people back to Yahushua. So keep doing what you're doing. Whether your doctrine is different. You teach the chip different or this or that, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're trying to restore the people back to Yahushua as the chosen people. That's the main goal. Everything else, leave it the hell alone. All right? But reading on. As if a man did flee from a lion, the lion represents the Arabs. All right? The Arabs, look at the tension with Iran and the U.S. I just brought out. Y'all can look that story up. They fired on each other. The tension with Hamas and Israel. Palestinians, so-called Arabs, and so-called Caucasian Israelis. That's that lion, them so-called Arabs. All right, it says, and a bear met him. Who's the bear? Russia. So Russia said, Biden, you want to talk all this tough talk? We're going to hack. We're going to use the dark side crew of Russian criminal hackers, and we're going to hack into your systems and make your companies pay tens of millions of dollars in ransom. Or millions of dollars in ransom. All right? Yeah, they call it ransomware. All right? It says, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. The serpent represents China. All right? China represents that serpent. Why? Because China is aligned with Russia. And once America have tension with Iran, Russia, that's why America is trying to pat China on the back now. And they sign executive orders or whatever to defend American Chinese citizens from Negro attacks. Some homeless brother in New York, don't know whether he's coming or going, yells at an Asian woman, oh, it's a hate crime. But you got Edomites going down to Atlanta and shooting up and killing 8 Asians in a spa. But you don't hardly hear about that. But a homeless brother with dementia or bipolar disorder on a subway train in New York City yells out on the train. May not even yell at the Asian woman, and they lie and say he yelled the racial slur at the Asian woman. Stop anti-hate. That's why you Negroes in Tokyo, over in Tokyo, they told you can't wear no Black Lives Matter paraphernalia for the Olympics. But stop Asian hate, right? Fight for the Japanese, the Chinese, the Koreans. Fight for them, right? But they told you, you can't wear no goddamn Black Lives Matter paraphernalia. Yeah, you know what that means? That translates to you can't wear nothing pro-black at the Tokyo Olympics. You see the racism of them damn Japs? And them Japanese want to be like us so bad. They try to rap like us. They try to, when the United States military had all those Blackanese babies, those black Japanese babies, that brothers in the military left over there, they want to be like us so damn bad. They wear blackface, afros, all that. They do that to mock us, but they also do that to try to channel our spirit. We've met them. I've dealt with Japanese people at the camp, said they wish they was black. They want to rap. They want to be down. So much for Asian lives matter. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Proverbs 11:21. You got you Negroes out here standing up for these damn Asians at their rallies. These gooks. And they telling you don't wear nothing pro-black at the Olympics, Negro. But anyway, I digress. Where were we? 20. Amos 5:20. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. It's going to be a day of darkness and no light. Very bright, no darkness in it. It's going to be a day of destruction. The only thing bright about the day of the Lord is the salvation of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's it. That's the only thing bright about that day. And you better hope the Lord is with you in that day. If not, muerto, like they say in Spanish. So there's a lot going on, man. I can go on and on, but I just want to cover a few stories of what's going on in the world. Real quick, let's go to Ezekiel 25:12. Salaki, y'all, I would have hit more scriptures, but I just wanted to get 1 or 2 scriptures for each news story so I can move it right along. I didn't intend for this video to be too long. All right, y'all can add y'all precepts to everything that was being brought out later. Hell, each story is a lesson within itself. Real quick, let's get another classic, Ezekiel 25:12. Ezekiel 25:12. It says, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Edom, the so-called white man, is going to piss the Most High off at all he's doing to the black, Latino, and Native American man. Look at the comedian Eddie Griffith. I was watching him the other day. He was on some podcast or something. I was watching it on YouTube, and the comedian Eddie Griffith, he said, listen, man, y'all niggas celebrating and breathing and getting ready for your late spring and summer, talking about we got a victory with George Floyd. He said, man, you know how many black and Latino people been shot and killed by the police and white supremacists since the George Floyd verdict, and they not putting it on the news? But you celebrating because Esau still hates you. There ain't nothing different, nothing going to change. But a lot of the police shooters, they're not covering it in the news, or they burying the stories because what? They want you to rejoice in this little fake victory. But the Lord said what? Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance. These devils don't love you. So there's a documentary streaming on ABC Live now. It's called Homegrown Hate. All right, the war amongst us. All right, watch that documentary. I've been checking out a little bit of myself. I gotta watch all of it, but hell, we all watch it together and come back to the drawing board. But I've been checking out the previews and some of the highlights of it. It's called Homegrown Hate, the War Amongst Us. It's going into the rise of neo-Nazi Klan hate groups in America and hate crimes, massive hate crimes that are not being reported, that are not being put in the mainstream media. So that race war is coming. Edom have dealt against the house of Judah. Again, it's called Homegrown Hate, the War Amongst Us. Because Esau knows it's going to be a civil race war. A civil war and a race war. They got another good documentary on Hulu about the overthrow of the Capitol. It's called 24 Hours of something. I forgot. It's on Hulu. All right. It's about the overthrow of the Capitol. And I saw, man, I saw some stuff that I didn't even know happened. Even with HOI pulling up down there and all the reports that the brothers brought back, it's still stuff that happened when them Republicans took over that damn Capitol. That Capitol building is stuff that blew my mind. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And if he will do that to his own government, imagine what he's going to do to you. And a lot of y'all said that was staged. It was an inside job. It could have been. Because y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist a lot of times. God, I damn near believe everything is a conspiracy sometimes. Sometimes things just happen or whatever the case may be. The Most High just, you know, the Most High does everything, of course. But I believe them devils just went down there and got busy. Now, I could be wrong. Some of it could have been staged. Agent provocateurs, infiltrators. It probably was a little bit of both. But either way, they was not playing. Them devils was not playing when they overthrew that Capitol, man. Yeah, exterminate the Brits. I heard about that. The Brutes. I heard about that too. Exterminate the Brutes on HBO Max. I heard about that. Matter of fact, I seen it across my screen. All right, so check out these documentaries and different information, Israel. It'll edify you. All right. I like documentaries, man. I gotta say it. A documentary is like a book. It's like a book in video form. You know, because you get information, things of that nature. You know, you can link it up with scriptures, history, whatever. A documentary is like a book in video form. All right. All right. So, you know, check that out. Check out those different documentaries and whatever else other information is out there. That's Homegrown Hate. Homegrown Hate, The War Among Us is streaming on ABC Live. 24 Hours of Terror or something like that on Hulu is about the overthrow of the Capitol and then Exterminate the Brutes. 𝐤𝐄 HOI Philly. HOI Philly be having that information, y'all. I'm telling you. They be on their information game. Exterminate the Brutes. But I seen that running across HBO Max, but I was like, what's that? I was like, I thought it was just, but I heard a few people talking about it, so I'll probably check it out in the next couple of days. All right. So, yeah, you know, the information is out here of what, you know, it definitely links up with Signs of the Times and Homegrown Hate. I know that's going to be an interesting documentary, and it's going to show you the rise of all these hate groups in America, and we're being pushed to that race war. Ezekiel 25:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it. See, not only is the Most High going to have us fight Esau in a race war, and there's going to be a lot of bloodshed, but ultimately Yahushua and the angels are coming to wipe out Esau totally. All right, the Lord said he's going to take away from him man and beast, because what? All of America is going to be totally destroyed, and all of Esau mainlands throughout the world. All right, it says, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword, just like the Lord judged ancient Edom. Teman and Dedan are ancient cities of Edom, all right, where Esau originally dwelt. But he said, in modern day time, I'm going to judge their modern day Temans and Dedans. All right, 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people. The Lord said he's going to lay his vengeance upon Edom by the hand of his people, Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh. Yeah, they're going to know the Lord's vengeance. But Esau, remember, I brought it out earlier, Esau rules by the sword. Meaning what? The so-called white man rules by weaponry. He rules by his weaponry. So what? We're going to have to get power from the Most High. We're going to have to get that spiritual power. That's why they make shows like Black Lightning. They make shows like Luke Cage. These brothers are like damn near your H.O.I type figures in the hood, defending the people. But you know they'll throw their bones in it. You know, like Luke Cage, man. I think season 1, like episode 2 or 3, they had the man looking just like your H.O.I. Had the big afro, had the headband on, armbands on. Crazy. You know, Black Lightning, it kind of goes into, you know, this brother, he has powers, and then his children have powers. That's like your H.O.I and Israel getting that spiritual power when the Most High gives it to us. You know, so, you know, there is art imitating life, man. They be putting this information out there in the media and the shows. I know a lot of y'all say, I don't watch TV, I just study my scriptures, and that stuff is... But a lot of times, man, Esau, they be telling on themselves. They be putting the information right in your face. They'll throw a bone in there. They'll throw a couple of bones in there, but, you know, they'll have the information there. You know, you can read between the lines. You can... A spiritual man, you know, you're going to see through. You're going to read between the lines of what they bringing out. All right, because Hollywood knows the truth, man. They know these scripts. All right, so that's it on that. Ezekiel 25:12 through 14. You know, check that out. Homegrown hate about all the white supremacists rising up in America. The rise of white supremacy in America in these last couple of years. All right. So that's it on that. We're gonna get a couple of scriptures on the new moon. Salakia, y'all, if y'all can hear my daughter crying in the background. She wants to come out here and do the lesson with me, but so she's going to be running around and getting into everything. She's not going to stay still. So she's crying because she can't come out with Abba. Salakia about that if y'all can hear her in the background. But it's late. Everybody's kind of sleeping and, you know, she's still up. Got my wife still up, but you know, she's not going to sit still if she come out here, so we can't let her come out here. I would love it if she would sit with me during the lesson, but she's not going to do that. She's only 17, but she's moving all over the place. So, Salakia, y'all, if y'all hear my baby girl in the background crying. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so, where were we? Tonight is the new moon, 3rd month. All right, tonight is the new moon, 3rd month. I was saying something before that, but I lost my train of thought real quick. But anyway, yeah, we're going to get a couple of scriptures on that. Make a point or two. And that's that. But yeah, tonight is the new moon, 3rd month. According to the Hebrew calendar, the new moon, 3rd month. Israel, please... If there's another calculation for you, please don't curse me out. Don't have a conniption fit. Don't get upset with me. All right? All right? Don't want to hurt me because I got a different month from you. Don't tell me you wrong, brother, and you don't want to take no correction. According to, yeah, Pentecost is 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, actually. Not this Sabbath, but the next Sabbath at evening coming on. Not this Sabbath coming the following after that. That's how we calculated it. Please don't get mad at us for the day we keep Pentecost. Have mercy on us, Israel. All right, so tonight is the new moon, 3rd month, also known as the month Sivan, S-I-V-A-N. And we know to a certain degree that we are trying to calculate the feast days and the new moons and pinpoint them correctly to the best of our ability. We are rehearsing the righteous acts, all right? If we're wrong on anything, may the Most High have mercy on us and show us that. All right, so let's start up. We're going to go to Leviticus 23 and 25. All right, first scripture, Leviticus 23 and 25. All right, we're just going to get a few new moon scriptures on the moon in general. And then I want to bring out a couple of belated verses for Day of Simon Maccabees, which was last Monday night at even, but I didn't go live because it got kind of late. It got super late, and HOI Buffalo and HOI Philly had already did services, so I just told everybody to watch those services. All right. So we're gonna reiterate that. Leviticus 23, Salakia. Leviticus 23:23. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In this 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation. So I believe that falls September 5th or 6th this year for the high new moon, the Feast of Trumpets. Brother saying with that, oh, that's early, brother. That ain't this fall season. But by the time the tabernacles come, we will be in the fall season. Because the fall equinox falls around September 21st. So September 5th, you add 15 days, that'll be September 20th. You'll get your Feast of Tabernacles, I believe, or it's the 6th and the 21st, Salakia. So you'll still be around that season. Remember, I said you can't go by weather because remember, it'll be mid-October and it'll be warm. You know, like they got that term Indian summer. So you'll say it's the fall season, it's getting cold, and you may not really get no cold weather till like mid-November. I remember Halloween's walking around with no jacket on. October 31st, and it was warm. Because sometimes the seasons overlap into each other. It might be spring, but you still getting little traces of that winter going out. That winter is slowly fading out. Then it'll finally get warm. That's why a lot of places you ain't gonna really feel it get real consistently warm. Maybe to like the 3rd or 4th week of May, 1st week of June, because then you kind of deep into spring, then you coming into the end of spring and you're going into summer. All right, so, but anyway, we don't want to keep going back and forth about these feast days or whatever. Let's just rehearse and may the Most High have mercy on us. All right, that's the main thing. But when you check it out, we're trying to pinpoint it to the best of our ability at the accurate times. So this is the 3rd month, according to the Hebrew calendar. And this is the first day of the month tonight, May 10th at even. So the 7th month is the highest new moon. That's the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. All right, it says, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of the trumpets and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. So that's the 7th new moon. But each new moon, each first day of the month is important according to the Hebrew calendar. From there, let's go to Exodus 19:1. Let me show y'all something to link up real quick. Exodus 19:1. Exodus chapter 19, and we're going to read verse 1. It says, In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt. Now, this 3rd month is the new moon. This is the first day of the month. This is the new moon. It says, In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. All right, so it said on the 3rd month. This is after we came out of Egypt. So this is about, let's say for argument's sake, this is about 2.5 months after we came out of Egypt. Because remember, the 1st month, and then we came out on the Passover. The Passover is on the 15th day, which would be the middle of the month. So half of the 1st month was gone already. So this is about 2.5 months after we came out of Egypt. All right. It says Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were coming to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto Yahweh, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. So you see that? Time has significance with the Most High. In this 3rd month that we came out of Egypt, the Most High started speaking to Moses and directing him on the instructions to give to the children of Israel. He was already doing it from Egypt, but just showing you in this 3rd month, it was significant. When you read this whole chapter, a lot of significant things happen in this 3rd month, but I'm gonna just hit a few of the key points. Y'all can read the whole 3rd chapter on your own. It's only 25 verses, but I'm gonna jump around and hit a few key points. Now check this out. It says, Exodus 19:4. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. See that? The Most High said, remember. He always told Israel. The Most High repeated that all over Scripture. He always reminded Israel how he brought us out of Egypt, because that was a great deliverance after 400 years of bondage. All right, so he said, listen, remember what I did and how I bear you eagle's wings. I brought you out of there swiftly. Once y'all ate that Passover at midnight, I was like, poof, get up out of there. That's why we had to eat the unleavened bread, because we had to leave in haste. We didn't have time for bread to rise and all that. Moses said, don't turn back for nothing. Look, get the gold and borrow the gold and the silver and the fancy raiment and all the nice things from the Egyptians and get up out of there. All right, so it says, I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself, meaning he brought them into the wilderness to deal with them directly, and eventually he brought them into the land. All right, that's what it means when he said, I brought you unto myself. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, you see what I did for y'all. You see what I did for y'all? So now, why wouldn't y'all obey my voice and keep my covenant? It said, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. The Lord said, look, the earth and all the people on it are mine, but out of everybody, you're going to be special unto me. Remember in Deuteronomy 7:6, he used the word special. He used peculiar here, but he used special in Deuteronomy 7. All right, and he said, above all the people, for all the earth is mine. So you cannot say that we are racist when we go out there and teach this Bible. The Lord said we would be above all people. All right, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Check that out. The Lord said, you're going to be a kingdom of priests unto me and a holy nation. Where else did the Lord say that at? Let's go to 1 Peter 2:9. All right, let's go to 1 Peter 2:9. The Lord said the same thing that he said to Moses. He's going to say the same thing to Peter. And guess what? It's going to get better. He's going to say the same thing to H.O.I. We're going to show you how all three link up. All right, check this out. 1 Peter 2:9, I believe it is. 1 Peter 2:9, bear with me. Okay. These pages get stuck together. Salakia, let's get 1 Peter chapter 2. I don't know why the book of James seems like one of the longest books when you're trying to look for Peter's. All right, 1 Peter 2:9. Check this out. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So what is that? 1 Peter 2:9 is saying the same thing that Exodus 19:5 and 6 is saying. He said you're going to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation and a peculiar people. All right, now from there, let's go to Revelation 5 and 9. Revelation 5 and 9. All right, we always get in the habit of saying revelations because there are various revelations, but the book is called Revelation because it's one big revelation. All right, Revelation 5 and 9. Now check this out. It said, and they sang a new song, saying that they are the elect, and the new song is what? The true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. So this is what the 144,000 and the 1/3 is saying to Yahweh. All right, he's saying, look, you redeemed us from out of every nation, and what? You redeemed us by your blood. All right. It said, and thou hast made us unto our power, and has made us unto our power, Yahweh, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. And who is that talking about? Israel. Because he said he gonna make us a nation of priests in Exodus 19:6. Then in 1 Peter 2:9, he said you're gonna be a kingdom of priests. Same thing. Now in Revelation, he said you're gonna make us kings and priests unto Yahweh, and we're gonna reign on the earth. So who are the kings and priests from Exodus to Revelation? The children of Israel, the men that the Lord raised up amongst the children of Israel. Because women can't be kings and priests. Those are titles for men. So the men of the nation of Israel are going to raise up and be the kings and priests of our nation. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So what is the Most High saying from the beginning to the end? That Israel will be his nation of kings and priests. And this happened in the 3rd month, on a new moon, in the 3rd month, coming out of Egypt. All right, now, to prove that this is the new moon or the first day of the month, let's jump down to verse 10. All right. Let me see. Matter of fact, I'm going to just read from 7 on. We stopped at 6. I'm going to just continue reading from 7 to get the understanding. It says, and Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh have given, we will do. Have spoken, Salakia, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Most High said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. So he said, listen, be ready against the 3rd day. He said, come unto them today, the 1st day, and tomorrow, and by the 3rd day be ready. So that shows you in Exodus 19:1, when it says in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Egypt, that was the new moon. That was the 1st day of the month. All right, it says, and be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day, Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And we know that was Yahweh Shai. It was coming from Yahweh, but he was using Yahweh Shai for all this interaction. It tells you that in 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. All right. All right. So that's it on that. Let me jump down. Now check this out, y'all. Exodus 19:16. Now, in the 3rd month coming out of Egypt, the Most High set us up right here. He said we was going to be a nation of priests and kings, a peculiar people. He said that on the 3rd day, he was going to deal with us. He was going to deal with the people. It even tells you in verse 15, and he said unto the people, be ready against the 3rd day, come not at your wives. He was saying, don't lay with your wives so you don't be unclean. You want to be clean before the Most High. He said, don't get at your wife. That's hip talk too. All right. Shalom. Shout out to Mutafia, H.O.I, Philly, and Yaradan and Kasaja. They did a class in Detroit on hip talk in the Bible. He said, yo, don't get out your wives, yo. Don't get out your wives tonight, man, so y'all could be clean tomorrow because you got to come before the Most High. All right, verse 16. Exodus 19:16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. Guess what, y'all? When we celebrate the Feast of Trumpets, the highest new moon of the year, it's a commemoration of when the Most High was dealing with us in Mount Sinai, and he made the trumpet sound. All right, so that the people trembled, because what? He was going to come through Moses and deal directly with the people. So the memorial blowing of the trumpets is also, it's right here, when the Most High blew the trumpet at us and the people trembled. And guess what? It's in Matthew 24, when Yahweh shall make his second coming, what happened? The trumpet is going to sound at the last day also, because Yahweh Shai was there with us in the wilderness also. Full circle. So there's a lot of things the Most High did in this Exodus the 19th chapter on this new moon and the first couple of days into the month. It says, and Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Yahweh, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahweh descended upon it in the fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and Yahweh answered him by a voice. So this is when the Most High directly dealt with Moses and the Israelites on Mount Sinai. Through Yahweh Shai, of course. All right? But, you know, it says the Most High because it was the Most High power coming through Yahweh Shai to deal with Moses and the children of Israel. All right? So it says, and when the voice of the trumpet sound, that's it on that. So that's it, just verse 19. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And this is what? This is the start of the beginning of the 40 days and 40 nights, when the Most High gave Moses the 10 Commandments, the first 5 books, and all the other mysteries that he told Moses he could reveal, but some things he told him hide. It tells you that in 2 Ezra 14, 1-6. So this is a very significant third month of us coming out of Israel that the Most High was dealing with us. A lot of heavy things happen in this chapter between the Most High and Israel. All right, so what happened? The memorial of blowing of the trumpets. This event here, when we celebrate that holiday, it's also a commemoration of this, the memorial blowing of the trumpets. All right, but it's all the times that the Most High blew the trumpet. It signifies all times that the Most High blew the trumpet to warn Israel about war, for announcements. And it's also when Yahweh Shah makes his second coming, like it tells you in Matthew 24, 29 on down, that the trumpet is going to sound at Yahweh Shah's return. The Feast of Trumpets, Leviticus 23, 23-25, is also a commemoration of that. So Ashar Kadash Rock, Happy New Moon, 3rd month, which is a significant month in the history of the nation of Israel coming out of Egypt. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. All right, so put that in your righteous pipe and smoke it, for lack of a better term. All right, Israel? So that's a little scriptural history for you on another level that you can know the significance of the months. The Most High did everything meticulously through time and everything. All right, so we are in the 3rd month, and you know, like I said earlier, the confusion about counting time and all that, you know, we're not going to get caught up in that, Israel. All right, we're not going to get caught up in that. From there, let's go to Psalms 8 and 3. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at, Let me see. Let's start at 1. I'm going to go probably 1, 2, 3. 1 through 3 in Psalms. Psalms 8 and 1. O Yahweh, our power, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength, because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. So the Most High said, out of the mouth of babes, all right, and sucklings hast thou ordained strength. Remember, when we go out and teach this word, man, we pull down and shut down strongholds. All right, let's get that whole lot real quick. Let's go to Matthew 11:25 to link that up. Let's link that up real quick. All right. The Most High called us babes and sucklings compared to this earth, man. All right, compared to the so-called wisdom of this earth. All right, Matthew 11:25. It says, at that time Yahweh answered and said, I thank thee, O Father Yahweh, of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. All right, and the reason why the Most High used the term babes, because a lot of times, considered to the knowledge of this society, brothers are babes. You might not be the wisest man in this world with technology, you know, even in academics. But when the Most High put the Spirit on you and you start reading and studying these scriptures, you are wiser than any average man on this earth in the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, in the knowledge of these scriptures. All right, that's what it's talking about. So the Most High said, look, I can use babes, men that are not really wise in this world. Like it tells you in Corinthians. It tells you that in Corinthians, the Lord didn't really choose the wise of this world or the mighty of this world. He chose men that would be considered babes to the knowledge of this world to confound the wise, to shut down all the doctrines and the philosophies. So Yahweh said, thou hast hid them from the prudent and revealed them to the babes. All right. So verse 3, when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. So what did the Most High ordain? He ordained the different phases of the moon. All right. The waning gibbous, the waxing gibbous. All right. The moon increasing in its different phases, decreases in its different phases. All right. So that's what David said, when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? Right? See that? So what is man? When you made the sun, the moon, and stars and everything, what is man? Man is just a being that you made on the earth. All right? That you have these things, you know, we understand these things, and he give us things to observe times and everything so that we can calculate time. But he said, what is man when I made the heavens and the earths and everything? All right, it says, thou hast made him a little lower than the angels and hast crowned him with glory and honor. So basically that's going into, you know, how man is lower than the angels. We come, you know, we're born through the birth and the seed line of a man and a woman, where the Most High just create the angels. Like Yahweh. It tells you in Hebrews the 2nd chapter, Yahweh was made a little lower than the angels. So that we use that a lot of times to cut that immaculate conception. All right, because people say Yahweh just appeared in Mary's womb. That would have made him angelic. Even though a man can be an angel, because the word angel means messenger. But Yahweh didn't appear as a heavenly angel until he resurrected later on. He came through the womb of a woman. He came through Mary and Joseph having intercourse. That's what made him a little lower than the angels. He was made of the seed of man. All right, it tells you that in Hebrews. But, you know, if you disagree, if you believe in the virgin birth, then that's fine. There's no love lost. That's what you believe in. As long as you believe in Yahweh delivering Israel when he make his second coming. That's it. All right, so from there, we're going to go to Proverbs 3 and 19. No, matter of fact, we're going to go to Psalms 81. From there, let's go to Psalms 81. I always love reading this scripture on the new moon. Psalms 81, it says, sing aloud unto Yahweh our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the power of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Verse 3. Verse 3, and it's the third new moon. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So blow up the trumpet in the new moon. And this moon, this particular month is month Sivan. And when you look up Sivan, it tells you that it comes around the month of May. All right, when you look up Sivan, that's the name of the third month on the Hebrew calendar for the Hebrew months. It tells you, I think I was looking in Bible Explain, BibleExplain.com, or one of them biblical research sites, and it was telling you that Sivan came around the month of May. So we're close to or around that time. All right, we trying to keep and rehearse these feast days. And listen, you can't always say, brothers got to stop being over righteous and say, oh, we don't go by the white man. Listen, Esau has our records. He has a lot of the records of the earth. Some of the stuff he bring out is true. Now, some of it is off. You got to decipher it, whatever the case may be. But some stuff, especially with the so-called white Jews and these other biblical and Hebrew scholars, when you check it out, some of the information and the calculation of time that they have is correct. When they tell you Abib is around March, April, they're correct around that. That's the season of the Passover. So, of course, the second month would be April, May. The third month would be May, June, and so on and so forth. So we're around that season. We're around that time. So let's not get so angry with each other, Israel, over something, you know, we might disagree upon by a few weeks, a month, or whatever the case may be. Just separate the meat from the bone and do your research. Right. Just respectfully disagree. And if you feel brothers got it, if brothers you feel they just wrong and they way off, pray for brothers that they see it. Just pray for brothers. Bring out your research and pray for brothers that they see it. That's all. Okay. It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon. There goes your trumpet again. All right, Leviticus 23, 23 to 25, Exodus 3, 16 to 19. All right, your Feast of Trumpets. All right, and also Numbers 10, 1 to 10, about how we blew the trumpet on the new moon and we blew the trumpet for different sounds of war. All right, it says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So tonight is a solemn feast day. You know, we know it's late as hell, but hopefully some of y'all got a chance to feast earlier in your states and you prayed. And when you wake up in the morning, or if you're watching now, we're still within the new moon. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. From any time now until sundown tomorrow, it's still the new moon. It's still the feast day. So you can actually wake up, you know, watch this lesson or watch a new moon lesson and continue to celebrate throughout the day tomorrow. Especially if you took the day off from work. That's a blessing. All right. It says, for this was a statute for Israel and a law of the power of Jacob. And like I said, the new moon is all, and you got brothers talking about the new moon is not in the law. Or it's not Leviticus 23. All right, the high new moon is in Leviticus 23. The regular new moon is in Numbers 10, verses 1 through 10. Emphasis on verse 10. And it's also in Numbers 28, 11 through 15. Emphasis on verse 11. So what are you talking about? The new moon is not in the law. That's not true. All right. So stop trying to be over righteous and act like you know so much. I had brothers say, we're not supposed to keep the new moon. That's not in the law. What are you talking about? All right. You do ever not knowing the scriptures or the power of Yahweh by H.O.I. You one West brothers think you know it all. No, it's not that. Yes, we come out of one West and we do know certain things. Do we know everything? No, we know everything the Most High give us in righteousness. And we know everything we need to know to get us salvation and the kingdom. But Yahweh said, look, when I come, I'm going to make all things clear. So yes, technically we know everything that the Most High want to show us right now. All right? So, you know, it's just certain stuff. You have to come, like Yahushua said, I come in the volume of the book. Don't tell me the new moon is not in the law, but then I find 2 scriptures, 3 scriptures where the new moon is in the law. All right? That's why Asaph said it here. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the power of Jacob. That's clear. All right, but you know, you get this spirit of pride in Israel. I'm going to say it until the chariots come. HOI to the chariots fly. Israel, you want to be right as opposed to being true. Everything is still a nigger competition. And yeah, I said it like that. Because you act like a bunch of niggas on a block that want to compete with each other. You act like a bunch of rappers that want to be better than each other. You act like a bunch of drug dealers that want the best product. You act like a bunch of gangs that want to run the neighborhood. Ain't no other gang coming through here. We the strongest gang. That's how a lot of you brothers still act. I'm going to say it straight up. You Black, Latino, Native American brothers walking in this truth, a lot of y'all still got that spirit. You want to be the man instead of peacefully discussing doctrine, okay, or peacefully disagreeing, or peacefully having a discourse. All right? That's what we need to do, Israel. And like I said, man, I ain't got nothing against nobody. We disagree all day. You still a brother, still a sister. If you in the spirit, we can go at it, whatever. Iron sharpeneth iron, and we can walk away. Yo, I still don't agree, but you still a brother. I ever see anything. If man, I give you the shirt off my back if you Israel and you in sincerity and truth. And we called you with each other. We may not agree, but Yahushua gonna put us on that agreement when he make his second coming. Great state of mind. Yeah, brother, we you know, I don't roll like that, and I don't teach HOI. All of my brothers, from the top elders, Elder Torah, Elder Levi, Elder Manashar, from the top senior men, Chief Ephraim, Shower Paul, on down. Brothers could tell you we don't roll with that spirit. We not rolling with that spirit. We our brother's keeper. You ain't going to just come at us crazy and you ain't going to just play us. You know, we had to tighten up a few things in the past because, you know, we saw just, you know, funny stuff with brothers. And we even had to take stock and say, well, you know what? Give brothers the benefit of the doubt. It may not be them. It may be us. We need to get our act together. We can't be as best as we can be to our brothers until we are right. So don't always point the finger. What we need to do to get right. You know, but if we seen little shakiness, brother, you know, fall back, whatever, we love you, but, you know, let's get our house in order. This way, when we do deal with brothers, we know what to look out for. We know what not to do to offend brothers. We know what lines not to cross. We know what lines brothers can't cross with us, but we still family. All right? We still family. And, you know, not just us 5 brothers, shout out to all the men of HOI, senior on down to our newest recruit. There's no respect to persons. I just named some of the 5 leaders. All right, but that's it, brothers. You know, you can't. You know, we're not gonna go crazy at our brothers over difference in doctrine. Me personally, this ain't my forte, man. This ain't my thing. You know, this ain't, you know, I don't really like going back and forth, and I'm not really doing it now, but it seems to be a spirit in Israel where it's got to be a challenge, and we're not dealing with that. But anyway, I digress. Enough of that nonsense. Proverbs 3:19. Proverbs 3:19. And it reads thus and so. The book of Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 19. And it reads, the Lord Yahweh by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. So everything, the earth, the heavens, and everything is done and founded by the understanding of the Most High. So the Most High knew when he was putting the stars, the sun, the moon, he knew Everything he was putting in a certain order and a certain vibration. That's why everything, time has a significance with everything. You know, we can go into so many different levels of how the Most High deals with time. All right, but he tells it, the heavens, everything was established by understanding. So even with the moon and everything is put in order, you know, to give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding how to calculate, you know, the different vibrations on the earth. Let's go to Sirach. Matter of fact, before we get that, let's go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 45, I believe it is. 44. 2nd Ezra 6. And 45, yes, Salakia. 2nd Ezra 6, 45 and 46. And it says, upon the 4th day, thou commandest that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order. So, upon the 4th day of the Most High's creation, he commanded all the lights for the heavens, you know, to give light on the earth, in the darkness and the light. All right, and Salakia, in the day and the night. And gavest them a charge to do service unto man that was to be made or to be later created. All right, so the sun does what? It gives light to man during the day. It helps the crops grow. It gives energy. If you are melanated people, you get vitamin D and energy from the sun. Like a lot of so-called African Americans, the tribe of Judah, we're what you call lactose intolerable. We can't deal with a lot of dairy products. So therefore, we got to get that sun. We got to get a lot of our vitamin D from that sun. Not from a damn prescription at a doctor. I mean, that'll help as much as it'll help, but you need it directly from that sun to get your vitamin D on. All right, because you can't get it a lot of times in these dairy products because of the way our bodies are made. And the Most High wants us to get that natural vitamin D anyway. All right, so the Most High said the sun, moon, and stars was to give service to man on the earth. All right, the moon. The moon gives us light at night. Certain flowers grow by the light of the moon. Certain, you got a frog in Puerto Rico called a coqui, that it only comes out at night from the moon's light. It has a vibrational connection with the moon. All right, and so on and so forth, you know. So the Most High lets us know he didn't make things just to make them. All right, the moon gives us our light at night. All right, you had in the month of April you had the pink supermoon. All right, and they didn't call it pink because it looked pink, even though some angled and some camera shots made it look like it was pink. Some people were saying it was actually pink, but they call it pink because there is a certain flower, because of the certain flower that grows that blossoms during the month of April, and is also connected to the light of the moon. So they call it a pink supermoon. We had it in April. That's when supposedly the moon it's at its closest point to the earth, and it appears bigger and brighter. All right, so the Most High said, what though? These will be signs, like it tell you in Luke, these will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. All right, so just different signs and different things that the Most High use in the heavens. All right, to give light on the earth and to give service to men. But remember, the Most High said, don't be in awe by these things because these are just signs. All right, when you read Jeremiah 10, the Most High said, don't be in awe because I'm going to show you these things in the last days. All right, let's go from there to Sirach. Ecclesiasticus 43, verses 6 through 10. Ecclesiasticus 43, verses 6 through 10. And with 2nd Ezra 6, 45 and 46, write down Genesis 1, 14 through 19. That's where Ezra was getting his creation account stories from Genesis. from Moses. But Ezra went in a little bit deeper. Some stuff he went in more so than Moses. Some stuff Moses more so went in than Ezra. But they both, they correspond with each other. All right. So 2nd Ezra 6, 45 and 46 with Genesis 1, 14 through 19. Now let's go to Ecclesiasticus 43, verses 6 through 10. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 43, 6 to 10. He said, he made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So the moon is to serve in its seasons and is to be a sign of the world. Like I just brought out some examples of things that connect with the vibration of the moon. It says from the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Yeah, because for the most part, we get our feast through the calculation of the moon. All right, when the Passover comes in, when the first month comes in, 14 days at even from the new moon, you get what? You get the Passover, which is be the 15th day, the 14th day at even, which brings in the 15th day. All right, it says from the moon is a sign of feet, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Because the moon goes through something which is called a waning gibbous, which it goes from the full moon and it decreases back to the dark moon. All right, or the new moon, which is the dark moon. It says the month is called after her name, because even when you look it up, the word month is synonymous with the word moon. All right. It says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changes. So now, after tonight, you'll start to see the moon increase starting tomorrow, Wednesday night, and so on and so. You'll see that first slither. Then by next week, Monday, you'll see a half a moon. Then 2 weeks from tonight, you'll see a full moon, and so on and so forth. Then once it's full, it'll start to decrease again. All right, it says, Salakia. The month is called after her name, decreasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of the heaven, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest place of the Lord. At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches. Because what? The sun, the moon, and the stars will always be there in the heavens as the Most High allowed them to be there. All right? So, that's it with the Apocrypha. Let's go to the New Testament now. Colossians 2:16. I think Mathafia would type that in the comments earlier. Brother sharp with them precepts. Brother was on point, had the precept early. But let's go to Colossians 2:16. And Thawadah family for being up kind of late for this lesson. Tonight, all praises. 2 hours. I said I was going to go like 45 minutes. And Salakia, I'll be rambling, y'all. But y'all know the elder going to get to the scripts. So don't even play. Y'all know eventually I'm going to get to them scripts, all right? So Salakia for a little bit of the rambling. I know a lot of you are like, but get to the scriptures, elder. The scriptures. All right? Yes. Everything go back to the scriptures, brothers and sisters. All right? Colossians 2:16, it says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day. So it said, don't let no man judge you. Look, man, if somebody keep the Passover this month, I might be like, damn, that's kind of far. But if somebody keep the Passover in June, July, I might be like, yo, that's kind of way off, brother. But, all right, you did it. That's between you and the Most High. Brother, you got to bring them months up a little bit, man. You got to be up in the March, April area, brother. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going trip, because I don't know when the Most High going to bring that brother back to a closer. I know that's kind of off. That's kind of, now you really talking out of season. you know, you really kind of talking out of season now. But if you in the March, April-ish area, yo, I ain't mad at you. All right? Even if I don't have the same date. You know, may the Most High have mercy, you kept it in its season. Because really, when you look at the Passover season, I know I said I was done with this, but when you look at the Passover season, it's technically 2 months. Because you can keep the Passover in the first month or the second month. If you couldn't keep it in the first month, you can make it up in the second month. So it's really a 2-month period. Anywhere between March, April, if it's going into May, that's a little late if you ask me, but it's within, at least within that season. All right, and that's that, Israel. There's nothing to really, you know, there's nothing to have a conniption fit about, like they say. You know, teach, and let's keep each other on point, but let's do it in the spirit. All right, in meekness and in humility, we correct each other and try to bring each other on a right path of understanding, so we maybe all can be on that one page of understanding one day. You know, but according to scripture, that's going to happen when Yahweh return. All right, so let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahweh. Now, yes, Paul was mainly talking about the meat and the drink offerings that the Judaizers were debating about at that time. You know, you had all kinds of groups during the time of Paul, Yahweh, you know, and they were debating scriptures. There's nothing new under the sun. All right? You got different camps and groups and Hebrew groups now, everything. But, you know, they were debating with Paul. Like now, that's why I don't really trip, but I also don't get into it because we live in a different era now, and I notice with Israel, the spirit of debate, it can be in a spirit, but I notice it can get carnal. It gets real carnal with Israel. So that's why I stay away from it, because I don't want to get like that with brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a long way from my street days of East New York, Brooklyn. I'm not trying to be that person no more. One time me and a brother had an issue, whatever, who, what, when, where, that's not important. But a brother said to me, yeah, Zabach, you ain't about that life. You about them scripts. And I said in my mind, I meant to say it to the brother, but I said in my mind, I was going to say to the brother, I'm glad you said that, brother. I'm glad you can see that on me. Because no, I'm not about that life per se anymore. I want you, when you look at me, I want you to see Yahweh, while Yahweh, the spirit of humility. And that brother said, you ain't about that life, brother. You about them scripts. I said, you damn right. I'm glad yes, I'm about these scripts, brother. And I was glad. I took that as a compliment. Because I ain't got to, yo, bro, you don't know where I come from. And what you mean I ain't about that life? I can get about that life. And yeah, I could have did all that. I've talked about this before, man. I can tell you brothers and sisters stories and you would never see it on me. You'll be like, you did what, elder? You did what? You know, some stuff I won't say, but you know, no, I'm not that person anymore, and none of us should want to be. So I say all that to say, a lot of times when you disagree with Israel, it gets carnal. Brothers start getting personal. Brothers start getting all upset and bent out of shape. Brothers want to come out their mouth a certain way, and brothers start saying little slick stuff, and it's like, then it starts getting disrespectful. So I stay away from that because I don't want to be like that with none of my brothers. I don't even want to go nowhere near none of that with none of my brothers. So I play the humble right. Yeah, I ain't about that. I'm about these scripts, huh? You know, because I don't want to be like that with my brothers. I came away from that because if you turn that on, then you're not in the spirit of the Most High Yahweh. If you turn that on defending the camp, or let's say a race war breakout, Most High give you spiritual power. some Edomites trying to hurt the camp, or some heathens, or some evil, wicked of our people, and you got to get in the mode and get busy. That's different. But with a brother in the truth that I disagree with about doctrine, I don't want to be like that. No, I do not. So I don't really get into a lot of debate with Israel and going back and forth. You know, I can bring out my information about a topic we disagree on and the scripts or whatever, but nah, brother, we respectfully disagree. So if any of y'all be hitting me up, this is to the people that don't really know me. They might say, well, you know, or people that want to, they got a difference in doctrine and they hit me up to discuss it and I decline, is because of that. I had brothers threaten me because I didn't want to acknowledge that, what was the doctrine? Something about the 144,000. One time this brother brought up. And the brother got real carnal with me. Like, called me out of my name, disrespected me. Like, to the point where if me and a brother was in person, it might have could have went down. And because of him, not because of me, but because of him. And it was all because I said, brother, I'm not. The doctrine was wrong from face value when the brother came out with it. But I said, brother, I'm not interested. I don't even want to hear it, brother. No, I don't need for you to bring out 50, 100 precepts. No, brother, I'm good. I don't believe in that. I don't care how many scriptures you got. Oh, you just stuck in your ways and don't think nobody can teach you nothing. Then brothers start getting disrespectful. And then they start talking reckless and insulting and, you know, then they start talking to you like you a sucker, like, you know, and it's like, it takes too much energy to be like that. Because now if I turn that on, now I'm out of the spirit. I don't know what's going to happen. If I got to turn that on, that's why I try to keep it turned off. So I just say all that to say, when we disagree, Israel, learn how to respectfully disagree. Now, there's some brothers that can sit down and have sometimes, you know, brother can sit down and have a peaceful debate. That's good. But I stepped away from a lot of that because I just saw in Israel, especially from the era of the internet, I just saw it can go left, man. It can go left. And we done had brothers fight, physically fight over doctrine. We have brothers threaten. We have brothers say they come into your camp and they going to shut your camp down. So it's not worth it to me, Israel. Two Israelite groups fighting in Times Square, New York, seems to have a disagreement about the scriptures they read. Come on, you can imagine the headlines now. So I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't wish to debate. I don't wish to. We ain't got to discuss nothing. Nah, I hear the doctrine on the surface. I'm good. You know, you might be mad at me. You just don't want to hear no different information, but I'm good, brother. All right, so that's all. I just say all that to say, you know, let's keep it in the spirit of peace, Israel, even if we disagree. All right, but who am I but little old Zabach? All right, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahweh. Listen, man, and I'm going to say this kind of cold, but when Yahweh come back, everybody going to shut up. I ain't going to say that in Yahweh. I ain't going to say Yahweh and the bad word. Try not to curse, but when Yahweh return, everybody going to shut the hell up. And it's going to be what he say. The hell with your doctrine. The hell with the... See, this precept links up and proves it. No. You going to shut the hell up. Yahweh going to say what the understanding is. And we going to be like, yes, Yahweh, Khan.